Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 16th to the 30th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Now before I dive into everything, I just want to say that this reading is coming from a place of love, light, and positivity to raise us up instead of bringing us down, because there is more than enough in this world to bring us down, to make us feel small and insignificant and overwhelmed. And so our energy vibration goes really low. Here, the hope of this is to have your energy vibration build up and for you to feel better than when you kind of knocked on the door of this reading. So let's move forward. We're going to be starting with your spirit guide animal cards. These are also your totem animals for this time. So if you see these animals in the wild, or if you see an image of these animals, this is really your angels and your spirit guides tapping you on the shoulder, Gemini, and saying, remember this message. So angel and spirit guide message for Gemini, April 16th to the 30th, 2020. Angel and spirit guide message for Gemini, April 16th to the 30th, 2020. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Okay, so these three, okay, very good, are the ones that came out. We have the snake spirit, we have the wolf spirit, and we have the giraffe spirit. Oh, that's really lovely. So it's time to heal, turn knowledge into wisdom, and see the bigger picture. So it's time to heal as you turn knowledge into wisdom and as you look at the bigger picture. So this is going to be kind of a very cathartic time, a very healing, very empowering time for you. And then let's see what your chakra energy has to say. Angel and spirit guide message for Gemini, April 16th to the 30th, 2020. Angel and spirit guide message for Gemini, April 16th to the 30th, 2020. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. We have life's purpose. It's never a small one to come up. And then angels and masters, which I really like to see as angels and divinity. So that is absolutely beautiful. Angel and spirit guide message for Gemini, April 16th to the 30th, 2020. Angel and spirit guide message for Gemini, April 16th to the 30th, 2020. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So we have the Eight of Swords. That makes sense. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles. So you can be taking this time very seriously. And you might see that about yourself just right off the bat, Gemini. And then we have the King of Swords. Well, you're the king. You're definitely being seen. And then we have the King of Cups, another king energy here. This is a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. The Ten of Swords, I'm seeing that as a very interesting, very intense card. Most definitely. You have the Page of Wands right here, a fire sign energy, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius. And then you have the Six of Wands, celebration, success, remembering to celebrate yourself. You have the King of Wands, so you're going from being a page to a king, but you're also going from being a king to a page, meaning that at times you're going to feel like you have the answers, right? And at other times you're going to be astoundingly curious. Two of Pentacles, and then Two of Swords. So you have the repeat of the number 8, taking things very seriously. You have the repeat of the number 2, which is creativity. It's also connecting with other people, and you do have a lot of other people shining up here, shining through here. And there is the sense, oh, I love this serpent tail in the back. And there is a sense here very much of you being a king. So when you are holding this much power, you have people around you who are going to help you amplify it. So it can either be having your angels and your spirit guides really on your side as you're being seen more. Yeah. Or it can simply be also having people, in your life, like people that you're talking to, people that you work with, family, friends around you that are really helping to amplify this power for you, because this is an intensely powerful time. And what is going to need to be overcome is the mind during this time, because you're going to feel pulled in a multitude of directions. Your internal self is something that is astoundingly important for you. And there's hard work, there's dedication, definitely, towards what you are creating, towards the prosperity that you are letting into your life, or that is embracing you. But also mentally, you're going to feel overwhelmed, caged, as if it's all too much at times. So really, let's dive into this reading, because it's intense. It is astoundingly intense, but it's also astoundingly powerful. So we're starting off with the snake spirit, the wolf spirit, and the giraffe spirit. Now, the snake spirit says it's time to heal, but it's also time to shed a skin. So you might really be seeing that you're redefining yourself. You're redefining you, Gemini, and you're looking at who you want to be, how you want to move forward, and you're healing not only from the past, but also in the present. You are finding that things that have been affecting you in the now, you're healing from and you're moving forward. Now, this is also important when we look at things cognitively, like mentally, and we say, what are we carrying with us from the past that is impacting us today? Because memories that we have that are from like a year ago or better, those have mentally scarred us. Why? And it doesn't mean the good memories. It doesn't mean like, oh, I had this beautiful, birthday celebration, or I got this wonderful gift, or I had this encounter with somebody and it was life-changing. Like the look in their eyes stuck with me. It's not those good things. It's the negative things. It's, oh, that person thought I was stupid. Like, oh, that person said I was ugly. Oh, that person, did this. No, that person implied that. And it goes at weaknesses that we have in our armor. And so here, armor. And so here, with the healing, with it's a time to heal, it's looking at those chinks in the armor of our existence and saying, where do I need to strengthen and fortify myself? Because you're turning knowledge into wisdom. And wisdom is going to be all about you. So here, with the wolf spirit, as you turn knowledge of the chinks in your armor into wisdom, you find yourself moving forward in power. But you also, again, find yourself as this pack hunter, as this person who needs people around you, even if it is simply your angels and your spirit guides. A lot of times we forget about divine energy as being part of kind of our communal energy of the group of people, our family, our clan, our tribe that we associate ourselves with. We have to remember them because it adds to our strength. And then with the giraffe, it says, see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. See what you are building yourself towards, the narrative that you are creating for yourself. Because during this time, Gemini, you're not doing anything small, most definitely. You're moving towards your life purpose. And this is in the throat chakra. Now, why would life purpose be connected with the throat chakra? Because we speak our world into being. And as you speak your world into being, be very aware of what you're saying to yourself. Because usually we speak to ourselves the way we would not speak to our worst enemy. So here with the throat chakra, with life purpose, speak into reality what you envision for yourself. Even if it sounds absurd, even if there's a part of you that is saying, I want this for my life, I want to be this. And all those nasty voices come up and say, oh, you think you can? And you start to hear your father's voice, your mother's voice, your third grade teacher's voice, the bully in the playground. Everybody starts coming. And you're like, oh, wait, hold up. This is my life. You made yours. I get to make mine. And it does not matter your age. Sometimes our scars run so deep, but seem so trivial to us that we think, oh, no, that's just a memory, And that's stupid. I shouldn't be upset about that. That happened years ago. Mourn it. And keep moving forward because you're climbing up these stairs and you're passing through that portal to a new life, a new soul, a new self. And as you do so, you have your angels and the divine right with you. And as you create and cultivate who you want to be, where you need to be, you see yourself empowered. You see yourself falling into alignment. You see yourself becoming more. And your angels right there with you, Gemini. Right there with you, guiding you, leading you, embracing you. Now this is the soul star chakra, and this is located 6 inches above your crown. And so here it is connecting with the universe. It is leading you to power, to understanding. And why is this important? Because there's a sense of feeling small. of feeling overwhelmed, of whatever road you choose, it's going to be wrong. Now, it can just be that you're having a bad day, and we get melodramatic, most definitely. But with the Eight of Swords can ruin everything. It's kind of like when you don't add enough salt to a meal, it doesn't have that full range of flavor. But when you add too much salt, it's absolutely ruined. And so you're finding that balance. But this is within your mind. This is why the hurts, the pains of the past need to be purged, need to be brought forward. And it doesn't have to be the past. It can be that you're looking at things, and you don't have to dive into the past. It can be that you're looking at where you want to move forward to. And you're saying, why am I stuck? What is holding me back? This is my dream. This is my passion. This is how I define myself to me. Why am I holding myself back? Because of fear? Because of doubt? Because sometimes things seem insurmountable. Sometimes our dreams are just so grand that subconsciously we sabotage ourselves. Because it's like, am I really worthy of this? And so here with the Eight of Swords, it's looking at all the ways you're penning yourself in. All the doubts, all the fears. And here she's huddled deep, and she looks like she's praying, connecting with her angels, with her spirit guides, with divinity itself. Connect. And then take the blindfold off your eyes and see truly that you can walk through what was once a prison and that you're not jailed anymore. And I think that's very big because, it is very profound. It's like you're not in a prison anymore. You are freeing yourself and you are moving forward. And as you do so, you're juggling endless prosperity. Now, you may feel like a fool, but come on, every great idea is foolish. Every aspect of our creative selves or of our determined selves seems foolish. It's like, oh my gosh, who's going to think of that? Like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen there? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you had that idea. What I love is I was listening to, what is it? John Grisham? Is it John Grisham or Josh Grisham? John Grisham. And he's this writer. And he's a very famous writer. And he said that he got to sit next to the lead singer in Aerosmith. I believe it was Aerosmith. And they were talking. And he's like, well, he said, he cursed in it. And I don't know if that, he said, dare to suck. And, excuse the language, but dare to suck. And that's what the lead singer of Aerosmith told him. They have this session once a month or something like that, where they put down ideas that they think are just going to be terrible. Absolutely terrible. And then from there, yeah, some of the ideas are terrible, but then they got Dude Looks Like a Lady. Dude Looks Like a Lady. One of their greatest hits. They got another great hit out of it. It's like, dare to make a fool out of yourself. Dare to sit there and be laughed at and be ridiculed and have people look at you and say, oh, you're never going to be able to make a living off of that. You're never going to be able to have that be successful. You're never going to be able. Maybe their vision isn't as big as yours. But don't say right off the bat, oh, I'm going to be the next, Bill Gates. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. That's a setup for failure. Start with one idea and then the other. Start with planning it out and then executing it. And make sure you execute, because here, the doubts, the fears, they can chain you. They can cage you. And you'll set everything up, and then you'll be like, oh no, I can't. So here, you are balancing endless prosperity. You have this power to you that is exquisite. Dare it. Dare it, because the fool is also the hero, right? The hero's tale, it's like the fool's journey. Can you dare to cut the head off Medusa? Can you dare to be the hero of your narrative? Can you? Because as you are looking at things, Perseus, he cut the head off of Medusa. He slayed what seemed to be something that seemed to be unslayable. And as you are embracing this balance, as you are looking at your prosperity, as you are daring for something more, it's taking a hell of a lot of hard work. I mean, it really is. It's like draining and drawing, and oh my gosh. And I mean, just look at her. I don't know if you've ever done needlework, but it's a strain on the eyes. And at times it can be tedious. Yes, it can be astoundingly relaxing and meditative. But at other times you can sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I just want to do something. This is taking forever. And so here, that's what you're going to feel like. It's like, oh my gosh, and can I have more light, please? So as you are moving forward, as you are working your tuchus off, as you are cultivating and creating and striving and becoming, there's going to be moments of frustration. There's going to be times of anger. There's going to be times of, sitting there and thinking, is it worth it? And you have the King of Wands right here who's telling you, oh yeah, it is. Because this is your passion. This is your creativity. And you are working towards this. This is what drives us. Wands are what drive us. It's what we want from life. It's why we get out of bed. This is why we get out of bed. Wands. The wands sit there and they're our passion. They're our creativity. They're our inspiration. You are inspired to work hard. Now your inspiration calls to you. And as it calls to you, there's going to be this fear. There's going to be this pushback. It's not going to be like, oh, I just walk into the sun type of thing. That would be awesome. If it's like that for you, oh my gosh, tell me, because that would be so cool. But there's going to be, for the majority of Geminis, myself included, there's this like pushback. There's this thing where like, I can't do that. Are you kidding me? Terrified, afraid, overwhelmed. So your kingliness, your power of you, is going to be overwhelming. And what's so cool here is the salamander. Now the salamander in alchemy is a symbol of rebirth. And so here, as you are this king, as you stand before your throne, as you stand in your power, you're transformed. And as you are transformed, this leads you straight to the Ten of Swords. And you might be like, oh, okay, that's nice, Dane. The least transformative card. No, it's the most. This is the darkness before the dawn. This is the mind. And what I see with the Ten of Swords, I've come to see it very differently and to have a better relationship with the Ten of Swords, quite frankly. I love this imagery. She's on her knees. She has these 10 swords in her. It's like she's broken. They've broken her. And isn't that what life does? Life breaks us. I know people don't like to hear it, and they write me and they say, Dane, that's not nice. Life doesn't have to break you. Okay, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. But for me, in my personal experience, from the people I work with, from the people, I love, life breaks them. And it puts you back together differently. And you might not say it's better. You might have said, well, I liked it when I didn't know about the pain, the hurt, the suffering, the anger, the resentment within me. I didn't like looking at that. I didn't like knowing about that. And it's like, fair. Yeah, definitely. Nobody likes seeing it. Nobody does. But are you stronger because of it? Do you know yourself better? Do you know where you stand more? Because the Ten of Swords, I see as each decade we live, it doves us one big sword in the back. At least one. You might sit there and say, oh my gosh, that year I got like 20. So, the Ten of Swords times. And here, it's looking at what you've learned. Because you can boil it down to one lesson each year that brought you to your knees. And a decade has passed, and you are transformed. And this is you rising. This is you pulling yourself up and saying, I'm not down for the count. I'm not out of this game yet. I will not be held back. I will be moving forward. And then you're at a crossroads because you're not failing. You're not falling. And you're not surrendering. And you're at this crossroads. And you have always thought there's going to be 2 ways that I can move forward. 2 options. And now you're starting to see like a third one come to you. You're starting to see more things align with your truth. You're starting to discover more, see more, understand more. That's when you become a student of your passion, of your creativity. You also have a strong fire sign influence. So it can't be that this fire sign is making you doubt yourself. It can be that you doubt your own passion, your own creativity, your own way of moving forward. And it can be that you've been hit in the face a lot. I mean, because recently, it's all about being hit in the face, right? It's all about, sitting there and thinking, oh, nothing would ever make the world just stop. And it's like, oh, wait, the world's stopping. Nothing would ever bring this. Oh, wait, look. And so here, it can be that your passion that is guiding you, you're saying, how foolish can I be? How much of a dreamer am I? Because you're an air sign energy, Gemini. You live within the mind, and your mind is being transformed and facing some dark things. And the thing with Geminis, people always sit there and say, oh, Geminis are flighty, Geminis are this, Geminis are that. No, when Geminis are done, they're done. And Geminis are so interested and have just this very big creative streak that they're so interested in things that they'll flitz from one thing to another to another. You see that in highly creative people. They flitz, and sometimes you just need that really stable person to go around and be like putting everything together, finishing projects, things like that. If you can train yourself, Gemini, to be the flitzer and to be the finisher, you're unstoppable. But calling yourself out at this time, like saying, this is what I need. You have the Page of Wands right here. You're looking at your passion, at your creativity, at what you need to learn. This is a tremendous time to learn. This is a tremendous time to start. Move forward. Don't let yourself be held back, because it's going to be too easy. It's going to be too easy to let your mind take over and say, oh no, what are you thinking of? Could you possibly? And then start talking to yourself cruelly. And it's like, no, this is where I stand. This is who I am. This is what I want. And you're seeing it. You're embracing it. You're understanding it. It's a part of you now. That leads you to the King of Cups. Now, this is a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. Then this could be within your own chart, just like this fire sign energy can be within your own chart. It can be an external person. It can be somebody that you're learning from, most definitely. And it can be you're learning things in ways that you hadn't thought of. And I love the serpent's tail back here. It's like, this is the mystical. This also brings you peace. Now, what's important about the King of Swords and the King of Cups being together? I am of the firm belief that we are emotional beings. Now, I know people disagree, and that is absolutely cool. But for me, when I look at humanity, I look at us as first and foremost our emotions, our hearts. And sometimes that's really hard to come to grips with. It's hard to know emotionally who you are, what you want. And emotionally not look at yourself kind of like a tantrum little 2-year-old. And so here, you're looking at your heart. And you're giving your heart credence. Because so often we silence our hearts and we say, what is responsible? What is logical? What is, what is almost soul crushing at times? And we choose that route. Because that's the route everybody else is walking. So it has to be right. What made you think everybody else was right? I mean, sometimes happiness comes from the most unlikely path. And here, being the King of Cups, it is looking at our hearts, our souls, ourselves. And it's saying, what do I love? What gives me purpose? It will not make you happy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's an impossible definition. But what makes me feel proud? What has me holding my head up high? What has me looking at things in a new light, in a different way, in a powerful connection? That's what brings you peace. That's what has your cup overflowing. That's what makes the magical real. And it connects with your mind. If your heart is in alignment, Gemini, your mind will be in alignment. And for you, when your mind is in alignment, you are unstoppable. So connect with your heart and your mind. Know that your emotions play a key part in what you think. You are a king. People are looking at you. People are seeing you. You have 3 kings here. You're divinely being seen. That's awesome. That is awesome. And it's having you balance, rethink, and understand your prosperity. You might be being foolish, and that's what And that's what's going to get you. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to laugh. And then the other part of you has to say, I don't care. Let them laugh. Because I'll be laughing as I am successful. And a new road opens. A new pathway guides you. And celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Do not forget to celebrate yourself. With the Six of Wands, it's like, be you. And celebrate you. Do not be one of those people who is so quick to rip yourself down. To sit there and go, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, I overstepped. No, sit there and say, no, this is what I think. I mean, it's not being a jerk about it, but it's saying, this is my power, this is my passion, this is my truth. Because if you don't celebrate you, it's like having a boss that never says good job, that always says, oh, well, you didn't do this. You did 18 million other things. They don't even compliment you on that, but you didn't do this. Or they cursory go, oh, good job, but you seriously, come on, I could find things for you to do. And you're like, oh, okay, thank you. So here, it's being that great boss. It's being that motivational boss in your own life. That person who makes you feel good for being who you are. And it's like, yeah, now it's time to celebrate. Look at your successes, because so often we sit there and say, well, I was supposed to do that, right? But when you do something wrong, oh, hail Columbia. That gets drawn up so often. So as you celebrate you, you step into your kingliness. You step into your power. You have here the hawk on your side. This is a hawk. Yeah. And it's like, this is you. This is your desire. This is your passion. You can even see it as an osprey. Is that the word for it? The bird of the kings, or the bird of the gods. And you cut through doubts and fears. You know your mind. You know where you stand. And you're looking at the big picture. That's it. You see the big picture. And as you see it, things become clear. Sight is so important to us. Okay? That's why we fear the darkness. That's why it has a negative connotation. Because we're sight hunters. We are apex predators when it comes to being a sight hunter. We're not scent hunters. If you blind us and say, okay, hunt, it's terrifying. You put a blindfold over somebody and say, hunt. They won't be relying on their main sense. And what's beautiful in this card is that we are second only to birds of prey as sight hunters. So here, with this bird of prey on your arm, you're seeing so clearly. Trust what you are seeing. Trust what you are being guided towards. Carl Jung said that where we are, I'm paraphrasing, and I might be doing a terrible job. No, I don't think so. So what Carl Jung said is that where we are right now is where we need to be. Because everything that we are learning is preparing us for the next step and the next step. And the thing that we get frustrated with is that we want the end results without all the steps in between. It's kind of like we want to be that kid that can run before we learn how to crawl, before we learn how to walk. And we're not going to be. We're going to be that stumbling, trying to move, getting frustrated, falling down baby before we can toddle, just kind of move around, maybe not falling. And then running comes later. Running comes with development. And you're seeing that development here. You're knowing your mind. You're knowing yourself. And it's actually cutting through the cage that you may feel that you are in. And as you do so, you claim your power. You are transformed. And you're balancing more than you could have thought. More than you realized you could balance. Your subconscious message is the Empress. The Empress is claiming a throne you thought was lost. The Empress is the power of creativity. It's the power of passion. Here, you're seeing a bit of the future. She has a crystal ball within her hand. You're seeing the future, and you have the hawk on your shield. Your clear vision is protecting you. Embrace it. Embrace it as you move forward. Because there's a prosperity that's coming, a harvest that's coming into your life that's unexpected. It's unexpected, but absolutely beautiful. Your subconscious chakra message is forgiveness. Forgive yourself. If you want to, forgive others, but first and foremost, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for holding on to pain. Forgive yourself for not being the person that you thought you should be at this moment or that moment. Let that forgiveness move you forward, because it embraces your heart and it transforms yourself. Subconsciously, you're focusing on your heart chakra. You're focusing on what you love. And as you do so, you have the beaver spirit. Lay a solid foundation. You are laying a solid foundation for your future as you focus on this present. And also as you unwrap this gift of power, this gift of determination, this gift of rethinking, recalculating, and seeing the truth of you. All right, Gemini, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. I am sending healing, loving energy to each and every one of you, and I hope that you are safe and staying safe. I love you all, and it was a pleasure to bring you this reading. Bye.